Hey everyone, this is Jenny Garcia with a December daily process video. And in this video, I'm going to work on day 3 and I'm going to use mostly in a creative bubble and items from Feed Your Craft. I love this card so much when this says wonderful that I decided to make a few, and I have 4 different ones. And I have a video where I showed how I do this. I will have it linked in one of the cards. And it's such a handy tool, especially when you're using digital items and you want to get the most for your buck. So I'm going to end up using that one because I really like how the star look there. And I ordered that star from Etsy, so I kept the business card of the person who made it and sold it to me. And it was so cool that my little elf decided to make a Christmas tree with our moving boxes. So we were in the process of packing everything to move in December. So there are going to be lots of boxes in this December daily, and either on the background or having something to do with the photos. I tried not to, but they still made their way through because I have a lot. And here I'm trying to quickly divide the cards that are filler cards from the ones that are journaling cards. That way I can easily find what I wanted to. I don't know why I did that before, but I also wanted to show uh, the cards because there are some that I changed the colors using Photoshop like I did earlier, and like I did in that video that I uploaded a few weeks ago. And it's just such a handy tool. And this is the card that I use to make that pattern paper that I use in my pre-December video. This was behind my title, my title cover inside of the album. And I also wanted one journaling card where I could type quite a lot. Whenever I have to write a lot, I use my typewriter because, um, I write quite big. So if I'm going to write something simple that I can use my handwriting, but for smaller things, I pick the typewriter. So I'm going to end up using the ornament card, but I'm going to use that celebrate card in the next spread. I wanted to use a lot of red in this spread because there's like little bits of red that pop out, and I wanted to like bring that together. There's also a little bit of green with the business card and some yellow, and this is another card that I really love. So I made a few different versions, and I got most of these are from In a Creative Bubble, and others are from the Feed Your Craft kits. I always print a few extras too because I do love them. I have so many, and I have more cards and other companies and stuff like that, but I wanted to stick to the In a Creative Bubble ones just to make my life a little bit easier. And I wanted to put a little bit of washi tape on top of that star. That way I could write 8-bit star, which it's the name of that star. And also I made the mistake of printing the card so it's slightly a little bit too big. And when I use the Simple Stories page protectors, it doesn't really matter. But for the Studio Calico ones, they're exact. So I had to cut off a little bit. And I wanted to have some layering going on with that 3. And then I'm going to cut, you're going to see later that I cut a circle so I could layer it. And I'm using the Tombow Monoplus adhesive, which is my favorite. And these alphas are from L Studio, which I love this kind of alpha. And I hope it doesn't come off later because I have like an old 30-day list album that it's like falling apart because the alphas were a little bit like crappy. And last year, my printer was having personal issues and was kind of like printing pages like either half or left the bottom half. And I'm still using those cards, I mean, those papers, because they are letter size. So I can easily use them for a whole layout, or I can use them for things like this, like cutting cutting shapes. And I use my Lawn Fawn stitch circle die to cut that three. And I'm trying to add more stuff to it because there's plenty of stuff. I could leave it like that, but you guys know that's not my style. So I went with the Pretty Little Studio little word stickers and also these awesome scalloped borders. And I need to get another one of these sheets because I may use the whole thing in this album and still be like I need more. And also those little hearts, I think I got them from eBay and I cannot find them again. It's a pain in the booty. And I'm going to use these stamps and I love them. They are like little prompts and they are from Everyday Explorers Co. And I forgot that in my Feed Your Craft kit, I had these numbers dies. And last year I used one every single day, and I was planning to do that this one too, and I forgot. So this is day 3. I may look around day 1 and 2 to see where I can like place them around, but if not, I'm going to try not to sweat it. When I was starting to work on this, I was like a little bit lost. I wasn't I don't know, I wasn't in the mood. So I was listening to the Scrappy Sisters podcast. I was listening to the December Daily Roundtable. Okay, this is super simple, just a little sticker and the card. And it inspired me a lot, and it kind of made me realize that it's about having fun and, beautiful memories. So I need to take some pressure off it. And since COVID was a thing, very crappy thing, they kind of like paraded Santa around in a fire in a fire truck. So we always go out and say hello. They also do it with the Easter bunny. And this year I had very little hope of getting a picture with Santa. I eventually found a place that they were like super safe. Everything was like done so amazingly careful. Like they had a glass and everything and masks, and it was perfect. But I really thought at that point that we were not gonna get a Santa picture. So I was happy to have that far away Santa. It's not blurry, but almost. I also wanted to add something on the top because it was looking a little bit bare. So I used the Feed Your Craft stamp. It's one of the holiday sets, and it says Making Spirits Bright. And I love um, that stamp. It's so cute. And again, more red. I'm really gonna go with a lot of red. I also did a little bit of typing with my typewriter. And when I had this, I had the We Are Memory Keepers ribbon. But then I decided in the next spread, which is this one is still day 3, I decided that I was going to change the ribbon of my typewriter because I also have the one that I usually use is teal and black, but I wanted red and black. Genius, right? I did a terrible job changing it. It took so long. It was coming off. Then I watched a YouTube video. I was doing it like terrible. And my hands were dirty and it feels like I took a long time doing this spread because I spent so much time dealing with the typewriter, but it honestly wasn't a lot. I added some photos of my family's Christmas tree pictures. I don't live close to my family, so even if there was no COVID, the chance of seeing them was very small. So I I I've done this a few times, and I wanted to do it every year. Add their Christmas trees too. And my sister had a picture with my niece, which is so photogenic and so cute. Like, I need to send my kids to her so she can teach them how to model too. And I was just talking about my Christmas tree saga. Uh, so we were planning to have two Christmas trees. And my big tree, which is the Harry Potter Christmas tree, if you haven't seen it, it's in my past December daily videos. The lights were damaged, it wasn't working, and we were like, well, that sucks. And then the plan was to make that little one that my daughter is adding, like reindeer glasses, to make that one, the little one, a Nintendo Christmas tree. But when I wanted to buy a bigger tree to replace that one with clear lights, okay, and here I enumerated whose trees are those. Uh, I couldn't find one with clear lights, so my husband said just buy one with colorful lights and make the Nintendo tree that one, and it was the best thing to happen to us because it turned out to be so cool. And I don't think I would have done it as big. That the Nintendo tree is big if I didn't, if my tree hadn't stopped working. So it was a happy accident. And I'm gonna use this stamp in this card here. I'm gonna use this first one is from Feed Your Craft, and I'm using my Studio Calico ink. Poppy is my go-to ink in this video. I do love this red. It's perfect. It also stamps really well on photos. I use glossy tube paper from Canon. That's also an important factor when you're trying to stamp on on paper. It's the ink, it's the paper, it's a bunch of things. So in the second stamp, I decided to use the one that says emotional roller coaster. And it's from Everyday Explorers. And I just figured that it was something that it was kind of sad and a bummer that turned out to be something happy. So it was a perfect stamp. I also use a little pad that is normally from the Amy Tangerine stitching sets to stamp a little bit more clearly. I feel like the cushion kind of helps. I don't have a Misty or any of the other tools. This works perfect. Or you can use a piece of foamy. That also works. I learned from Kelly Perky to use the eraser before you use a new stamp. That way you get rid of that shiny new film. So that's why I use the mono eraser. When I was typing, since I was doing a hot mess, I used the mono sand, which is the one on the bottom right. And normally that eraser is for typewriters. So now people use it for stamping accidents because not everyone uses typewriters, but it works for both things. And here I stamp on the photo, but it was getting lost in the actual photo, so I decided to just stamp it on a label and then add a little heart. And this is a good idea whenever you want to try stamping. If you're doing it for the first time, do it somewhere where you can cover it if you have an accident. Okay, so here are the pages. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see the next one. Don't forget to click the little bell. And if you have any questions, leave them below. And I hope you're having an amazing day. Bye.